triumphant resumption of the National Working Committee led by Barrister Julius Abure, we made it clear that we're going to create the Directorate of Obedient Affairs. The whole idea of having a directorate dedicated to the obedient family was born out of the complaints received for the past few months to which the membership registration process was cumbersome.
Democracy.
There was a communication gap between the party and the obedient family. These gaps have given room for misinformation about the party and its leadership. The lack of information dissemination has given room for the ruling oligarchy in Nigeria to infiltrate the movement and is therefore used to negatively work against the leadership of the party. Consequent upon the following, therefore, and the need to find solutions to these challenges and complaints, hence we decided to have a directorate manned by Labour Party Obidients. I will skip the term of reference. The party, however, is not unmindful of the presence of a large spectrum of followers, in which a lot or some members may not even be willing to interface or join the party. We are also not unmindful of the very nature of the obedient movement, but we concluded that this communication gap, no doubt, will need to be addressed. However, in view of the controversies and misconceptions which follow the publication of the names and the setting up of this directorate, we have decided to rename it as the Directorate of Mobilization and Integration. However, with the renaming of this directorate, there is no gainsaying the fact that the scope of this directorate has been expanded to include other areas. However, before going ahead with this inauguration ceremony, it is pertinent for me to make the following appeals. One, members of the party must learn from their history and trajectory. This will assist us to avoid the mistakes of the past. The experiences gathered by virtue of the 2023 general election, which should help us plan better for 2027. It is my view that if the party structure was stronger in 2023 during the general election, it would have probably been able to defend a lot of our stolen votes, which would have made our presidential candidate Peter Obi the president of Nigeria today. We have seen instances where Wike and unpopular candidates have been delivered, or to put it more succinctly, win election by strong party structure. On the other hand, there are instances in which extreme popular candidates and visible candidates have also lost election due to a weak party structure. It is on the basis of this that we intend to strengthen the structure of the party, make it more formidable, rebuild the party, and begin to identify strong, passionate, and dedicated party members that we can use in future as agents, as defenders of the party, who will be able to stand the time to advocate and stand for the party in future elections. It is our view and opinion that the time to begin is now. I think that the fire brigade approach adopted by the party in 2023 general election can obviously be avoided. I believe strongly that if we start planning from now for 2027 general election, it will be better for the party and for all those who truly want to use the platform to win election in 2027. I must say for certain that a new Nigeria will not be possible without a strong and virile political party whose structure is strong enough to withstand, fight, and defend our votes, and therefore what the new Nigeria stands for. We must therefore, as party members, continue to rebuild our party. We must continue to restructure our party. We must continue to make our party to be strong so that we can indeed achieve the new Nigeria of our dreams. A new Nigeria will not be possible as it stands today without a strong, viral political party. And it is my view that Labour Party, Papa Mama Pikin, given our experiences in the 2023 general election, is positioned that role effectively of capturing power in 2027. I believe that our party, Papa Mama Pikin, will be able to produce the president come 2027 if we do our homework very well. I'm sure we'll be able to triple the senators that we have today. We'll be able to triple the House of Rep members, House of Assembly members that we have today if we start planning from now. I must state here clearly that all party members who are in this party must be courageous enough to bring their friends, bring their relations, and make their followers as members of the Labour Party. We say so because we believe that every one of us is an ambassador of the party, and we must therefore advocate for membership. We must therefore be involved in membership registration drive. We must therefore be able to canvass for people to join the party so that we can make the party to be a strong, virile political party that will have the capacity to capture power in 2027. Two, I see this occasion to appeal to those who directly or indirectly have been encouraging propaganda against the leadership of the party or the party itself, and yet want to use the party platform for future elections. This, no doubt, is paradoxical. It is better for us to be together. It's better for us to be united. It's better for us to have one mind and one spirit so that we can all jointly work together for future elections, and particularly the 2027 general election. We may think that the 2027 is far away. It is already here, and if we don't start planning and working towards 2027 general election, it will also meet us here, and we'll all again be caught unawares. It's the time to put our differences aside. Whatever may be our political ambition and reason for sponsoring propaganda and maligning the character of our party and the party leadership, we appeal to all and sundry that we should put it aside, if not for any other reason, because of the interest of the suffering masses of Nigeria that wants a change, because of the people that deserves a change, because of majority of Nigerians that is indeed dreaming for a new Nigeria. For their sake, we need to be united and we need to work together in order to have a strong party that can deliver the president come 2027. Gentlemen, having said all of this, I now have the honor and privilege to proceed with the inauguration ceremony of the Directorate of Mobilization and Integration. I think I have summarized and given you the foundation, the basis upon which we arrive at the decision to have a directorate that will indeed commence the mobilization of all manner of persons to join the party. We need all hands to be on deck in order to make our party to be stronger and stronger and stronger, so that we can indeed as a party win our election and become the ruling party in Nigeria from 2027. If you are with me on that mandate, can you say aye? Aye. If you are with me that come 20.
That a new Nigeria is possible through His Excellency peterobi. We brought our money together without knowing each other. We send the money across to people we don't know, trusting that they will deliver. And we all delivered. And in August 2022, the tripartite arrangements that we know will be the only vehicle that can get us to Abuja came together and held the first ever Labour Party Leadership Summit. How many of you were there in the International Conference Center? August 2022. 11th August 2022. The hall was filled up. All the Labour Party leadership was there. All the campaign council leadership were there. And all the Obidients members were in that room. And I stand here today to tell you that if we have to make it to Abuja, these three teams must work together in peace and harmony. The committee is made up of people that I know will deliver. We have done a quick check. You hear people that have worked in the UN, you hear people that have worked in the UK, you hear people that are technocrats, you hear people that are technical personnel, you hear people that are mobilizers. So I want to stand here and tell you that we will deliver. The National Chairman, the National Executive Council, the National Working Committee, and all the leadership of the party, we want to thank you for this privilege you've given to us as Obidients. We will work with you, and we will respect the rules of the game. I will come back and speak to my fellow Obidients. When brothers fight and die, who inherits their property? Strangers. So we don't need to fight. We will have to come together, and that's why this directorate will first integrate. We will integrate the Obidients, we will integrate the Labour Party, and we will integrate His Excellency peterobi into one system. And we will all speak with one voice. And I want to tell you, the structure of criminality that has taken this country, they integrated in order to take over this country. They all sat down and shared, brought resources, and when they get in, they start reaping, and that's why you don't get anything. So if we have to dislodge them, we have to come together as one. May God guide our paths and right. Amen. A round of applause for everybody, please.
I hope you have enjoyed.
We want to thank you for this privilege you've given to us as Obidients. We will work with you and we will respect the rules of the game. I will come back and speak to my fellow Obidients. When brothers fight and die, who inherits their property? Strangers. So we don't need to fight. We will have to come together, and that's why this directorate will first integrate. We will integrate the Obidients, we will integrate the Labour Party, and we will integrate His Excellence peterobi into one system. And we will all speak with one voice. And I want to tell you, the structure of criminality that has taken this country, they integrated in order to take over this country. They all sat down and shared, brought resources, and when they get in, they start rebuilding. That's why you don't get anything. So if we have to dislodge them, we have to come together as one. May God guide our paths aright. Amen.
Round of applause for the committee, please. I hope you heard it clearly. But if we must dislodge the structure of criminality we have today, we must come together and speak with one voice.
What importance is the theme of this town hall meeting to us? I will start by defining innovation, which is the implementation of a creative idea for the benefit of an organization, which in this case is the Labour Party. One of the ideas is the creation of chapters and initiative of Honorable Joshua Otika, which is currently contributing massively in our membership drive across the world in Ahmed. You will have the opportunity to talk about it during his presentation and the panel discussion. Another idea is the mobilization of our youth to active participation in politics through the use of technology. Our last general elections showed the impact of technology through the social media in galvanizing the youth for full involvement in the electioneering process, and this was evident in the results the election produced, which to date is a shocker to even the ruling party in Nigeria. We intend to build on that as we approach the area council elections in FCT, which will be another test of our capacity, presence, targetness, and capability to deliver another shocker to other political parties by winning the chairmanship position and all the councillorship positions in AMAC. We cannot achieve this without the full involvement of our youth in what we are doing. We must be innovative in our approach to draw the attention and interest of our massive youth population in AMAC. Number 3, what is the expected outcome from today's event? In the last general election, where FCT denied all other political parties the mandatory constitutional 25% of the vote, although this was later rubbished by the judiciary. AMAC contributed the majority of these votes. AMAC alone contributed about 60%, 70%, and 72% of the total winning votes, respectively, to His Excellency Peterobi, Senator Ireti Kingibe, and Honorable Joshua Obidients. I think we should clap for ourselves at this point because we really did well. Our target is to build a formidable membership strength through our chapters, so that with only the registered members of LP in AMAC, we have sure winning votes in any election. We intend to surpass our achievement in the last general elections by increasing the percentage of our domination through votes in the next general election. How do we achieve these outcomes? One of the ways we can achieve the outcome in question 3 is through the use of data. developmental approaches, programs, and interventions carried out in most nations of the world are done through the efficient and effective use of data. Analysis of concrete data of a population engenders effective risk assessment, which will inform the type of interventions and approaches needed to solve the needs of the people. In 2020, when I became the chairman of Labour Party in Amak, I offered my office in Asodoro as LP Amak office, which is still in use till today. And what was the purpose? It was to establish an information resource center, which I would like to call for short IRC. This will enable us to gather and analyze data of our membership strength across the 12 wards in Amak, taking into consideration their demographic status. The LP Amak Information Resource Center will be a one-stop office where every information and activities, including membership data about the LP Amak, are warehoused. It will be a call center with dedicated desk officer who will respond to inquiries by members of our party who may from time to time wish to know how they can key into the activities of the party at any level. Currently, registration as member of Labour Party in Amak starts with an individual visiting the chapter in the ward and filling a form which requires certain information about that individual. Number 2, the form is submitted by the chapter leader to the ward office, which vets the form and issues membership card in the name of the registrant upon payment of membership fee. Number 3, the ward office collects these forms from all the chapters and submits them to the LP Amak office for data capturing and documentation. Number 4, that data is what we analyze to monitor progress and challenges for effective action. Today, it is my wish to separate my personal office from LP Amak office so that our information resource center can exist on its own with or without me as the chairman of Labour Party in Amak. This requires renting, furnishing, equipping, and running of an office so that the true purpose for the IRC in achieving question 3 can be realized. This will cost about 14 million naira for the first 1 year. The cost of running the office and its maintenance in the years following will be through entrepreneurial activities that will naturally bring in money without our reliance on any particular individual to achieve that. I believe that our esteemed guest in today's meeting can help us achieve this goal. I look forward to a very successful outing today. Thank you very much. I'm from El-rufai, the chairman of Labour Party. LP!
All the other candidates of other political parties, 25%. The man who stood in front of that wall, of course they call him, if you can understand his Igbo title, is the man they call Oka Obrozo. That is the man that says it and he'll be in the front. I want to also thank him especially for the leadership he has given to FCT. Of course, we have the Amak chairman who have worked tirelessly to put this event together. If I use Otubo, I appreciate you. And I want to congratulate Amak for hosting this event. When we look at the topic, I know I may not be in the best position to give justice to this topic, political party innovation and the need for youth inclusivity. Perhaps I was choosing to make these remarks because I am privileged to be, humbled to be your national youth leader. And it does not matter your agitation to take power. It does not matter how you want to take power. It does not matter your effort to collect power. What matters is what you do with power. What matters is what you do when you are given the opportunity to lead others. When we talk about political party innovation, the type of politics we played in the 70s are they the same thing we are playing today? I want to tell us how important the youths are in the new Nigeria we are pursuing. One, if you look at those that led Nigeria in the past, the founding fathers of democracy in Nigeria, most of them were in their youthful ages. Two of us. At some point, we have a president in Nigeria who was 29 years. A president in Nigeria who was 29 years. At some point, we have ministers in this country who were 25, who were 22, who were 28 in this same country called Nigeria. Of course, the idea of giving birth, of course, I say it anywhere I go with goodness, that if I have a child that is 20 years and I have a car as a father, and maybe if I'm a Muslim on a Friday mosque, that child cannot drive me and my wife to mosque. Or as a Christian, that child cannot drive me and my wife to the church. Then I have failed as a father. Because at the age 18, 20, if you have a son, he should be able to drive you and your wife to church or to the mosque. We are experiencing failure in Nigerian politics today because we have failed to empower the youth, the younger generation. We have given power to those who became governor at the age of 40, but they have stood on it and they have refused to encourage 40-year-old young people to emerge as governor. What was our agitation in the 2023 general election? Most of the candidates that ran that election, presidential election to be specific, are in their 70s. And we have a man that was below 70. The entire youth of Nigeria stood behind him. They went with him, and they believe that the younger you are, the more confident you are. So when we talk about political party innovation and youth inclusivity, it's not a mistake. If you look at the charter, the international protocol, I'm not even qualified to be the National Leader of Labour Party. But because in Nigeria, we bastardize institutions. In Nigeria, we neglect institutions and we continue to build powerful individuals. And we build powerful individuals that will come to become vampires. They will come to become thorns on the neck of Nigerian youth, and they reject, they refuse to enthrone good leadership because it's now about cartel. It's not about their choices. It's no longer about the choices of the general public. It is in this country that every leader will be asking for more, neglecting the foundational principles of democracy, which means that democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. What they now do is to engage the youth and make them PAs without portfolio. And I want to use this opportunity to call on all the youth to stand up and save this country. There is no other person that can save Nigeria than the Nigerian youth. You did it before when you stood in Lagos and said no to NSAS. You said no, and you ended SARS in 20. You did it in 2023 presidential election when you said no to structure of criminality, and you gave a show that brought victory to Labour Party in the presidential election. You will do it again from 2027. Are we going to do it again? Are we going to do it again? Are we ready to do it again? Any institution that does not respect the youth is a failed institution. Because when they want to read, they will use the youth. When they want to fight, they will use the youth. When they want to cause problem, they will use the youth. But when they want to share, they put us behind the scene. Are we going to accept that again? No! Are we going to accept that again? at the polling unit, who stands up to defend them? When they want to attack our mothers in the polling unit, who stands up to defend them? When they want to cast the election and defend the vote and protect the vote, who do they call? If they want to protect the collection center, who do they call? Are we going to remain monkey the walk or do the talk? Are we going to remain monkey the walk or do the talk? I am concluding already because the anger in my heart is what I want to reflect by this short speech that I've given. I want Nigerian youth to stand up. We are not saying it to disparage our fathers, our respected fathers, our mentors, those who gave us strength. Of course, one of my political mentors in the Labour Party used to tell me something. That's what we need. When I want to ask sometimes, you say, my friend, calm down, calm down. And I asked him a question one day. I said, when you were in my age, do you need to calm down? He laughed. If you know him very well, when he was my age, he can stretch this place and say nobody will pass and nobody will pass. But today when I want to do that, I say, calm down, calm down. Are we going to continue to calm down? We have to take over our country. We have to take back our country. They did it with strength and vigor. Why are they telling us to calm down? We have to do it also with strength and vigor.
Are you with them?
We are not doing it because we don't respect our fathers. We respect our fathers. We want them to be proud of us. We want them to be proud that they gave birth to us. That is why we are asking them to empower us. Say it together. Say empower us.
Empower us.
Say empower us.
Empower us.
I know that the Labour Party is the only political party that has shown support for the youths. If you look at the national chairman, he's a young man. And the party has made it easy for young people to run an election. So who do we follow? Labour Party. Who do we follow? In conclusion, my dear Americans, I want to ask you a question. If by 2027 we don't have an election, where are we going to be? The government in place has gotten power, have they not? Is your life better? Is your welfare better? I am coming back to what Barrister Julius Abuja said. That is not about getting power. It is not about fighting to grab power. What matters is what you do with the power you have gotten. That is the word of my mentor, Barrister Julius Abuja. Today we celebrate Obidients anywhere he comes out in Abuja. Why? Because he won that election, he is still with us. When we call him in Nigeria, he will come. When we call him in Obidients, he will come. You call him in Townhall, he will come. You call him in Tinubu, everybody, he will come.
Technological age. Everything right now is technologically driven. Whosoever does not deploy technology to get his affairs done is almost living in a stone age. So we cannot overemphasize the place of technology because the Nigerian youth today and the youth across the world are digital natives. Everybody is using a smartphone because we easily get information at our fingertips by using our digital devices. The youth today lives in a fast-paced world. We want to get everything done very, very quick. We want it to be as affordable as it can and as easy as it can get. And technology affords us that opportunity to live in a fast-paced world. The youth of Nigeria today is a digital native, like I said. And one of the reasons why we are digital natives is because jobs today are mostly technologically different. We see a lot of people who are getting remote jobs, who are working from the comfort of their homes and earning from the comfort of their homes without having to go to any office whatsoever. So the place of technology cannot be overemphasized. In fact, I believe that we are currently utilizing technology below what it is expected. But before we begin to talk about the importance of technology in political mobilization, we need to clearly understand what the problem of the Nigerian youth is. Because politics as it stands today, as important as it is, as critical as it is in the issues of governance and in the vision of a new Nigeria, cannot be left to stand alone if some of the major physiological needs of the Nigerian youth are not being taken care of. So we need to see technologically, holistically, and see the role it plays in solving the problems of the Nigerian youth first. When we are able to solve the problem of the Nigerian youth, then we will be able to mobilize the Nigerian youth to participate in politics. You will not expect a Nigerian youth who has not eaten for 2 days, who doesn't have gainful employment, who doesn't have education, to participate holistically the way he should participate, or she should participate in politics. So the major issues and challenges of the Nigerian youth need to be addressed using technology. First is education. We need to be able to deploy technology to solve the questions of education. When COVID happened in 2020, it showed to us how backward we were in the usage of technology. Because schools were shut down, academic work was literally shut down. People could not continue with their academic sessions again. It shows us that when we begin to utilize technology to solve the issue of education, secondly, the issue of employment. The Nigerian youth are suffering from the issue of employment, and we need to be able to leverage on existing technologies to solve the issues of employment. When people are gainfully employed and they can sort out their major survival needs, then they will be able to do more in the aspect of politics. We need to solve the issue of energy, especially for SMEs. Young people are very industrious in Nigeria, and what they need is the availability of power to be able to get their businesses running. When we are able to solve the issue of power, then we will place sufficient time in the minds of the Nigerian youth to participate in politics. It will no longer be an issue of just come and vote. It will be an issue of I have the resource, I have the connection, I have the network, and I really want to go into active politics. And we need to solve the issue of engagement. The Nigerian youth are not being critically engaged in matters that affect them. So on the tables of decision making, we need to have more youthful representation. When these things are solved, using the tool of technology, then we can now begin to call on Nigerian youth to participate actively in politics. Am I saying we are not participating now? No. I am saying that for the majority of Nigerian youths, when the basic physiological needs are met, then we'll be able to throw in our voice and our weight behind political affairs even more effectively. And one other thing that we need to be assured of is that we need to leverage on technology to enhance our voting processes in Nigeria. Technology would make the voting processes of Nigeria seamless, where the Nigerian youth know that my vote will count and it will not be abused. Then we will come out en masse. We have done it, we have shown it time and again, but we have been abused and our vote have not counted as they should. We have had to stand, and some of us have lost our lives just to protect what is our fundamental rights in the nation. But when we begin to deploy technology to ensure that the vote of every Nigerian youth is counted for and is duly protected, then there will be more participation in electoral processes. The next thing we need to do is to deploy technology to ensure that our electoral processes and our political systems in Nigeria are optimized. A lot of things can be done with technology. Mind you, technology is beyond ICT. ICT is just a component of technology. We can leverage on blockchain technology to make things seamless and secure, tightly secure in our processes in Nigeria. So we cannot exhaustively talk about the importance of technology in youth mobilization because we are digital natives. If you send information to our digital devices, we will see it quickly. If you call for advocacy through our digital devices, we will respond quickly. The answer should show to Nigerians that the power of technology cannot be overemphasized. Without the presence of a leader, as it is, a face leader, Nigerian youth were able to galvanize resources. Nigerian youth were able to disseminate information. Nigerian youth were able to strategize. Nigerian youth were able to finance the NSAS protest. And we saw the weight that it had in the country. It shows us that once there's a political ideology that is right for the new Nigeria that we seek, the Nigerian youth are going to put their weight behind it. But in the absence of the right political ideology and a vision that is truly selfless for the purpose of taking Nigeria to where it is meant to be, the Nigerian youth will not put their weight behind it. What we need right now is the presence of a vision, and we have seen that play out even in the past elections. We need the presence of a vision. We need the presence of leaders who embody that vision, who will tell us that our rights will not be trampled upon, and we will put our weight behind it. We cannot, again, I would say, even as I begin to take my seat, we cannot overemphasize the place of technology. We are digital natives. What you throw using technology will sell to us faster. There's edutech, there's fintech, there's health tech, there's agri-tech. Technology is literally ruling the world. Right now, all companies and all organizations are tech companies doing what they do. Because if you are not using technology, your businesses will not go as far as they should. It's the same way. If we are not leveraging on technology, our political mobilization of youth and our political participation in Nigeria will not have the headway that it should have. Thank you so much for this time. I appreciate it.
Wow. At least the youth is talking and we can feel the impact. Can we give another round of applause? Please, I want to use this medium to welcome my colleague, the area council chairman.
I want you to stand up with me. If you don't know, let me introduce yourselves to you. So, you are that little Davids that brought the Goliath down. You are that wild wind that brought down that big Iroko tree in El City. These are the people that I'm looking at right now. The people that made Labour Party proud in Nigeria. The people of Amak, the giants of Labour Party. Clap for yourselves. You know, when you see the lion in the forest, a more secure lion is when they are in groups. Yes. And when my national chairman moves, there is another lion that is coming behind him. That is the able national deputy chairman, Mr. Clement Ojukwu. I want to recognize other members of the national executive. I want to also recognize the distinguished senator of FCT, Abuja. Let me also recognize the capacity chairman of FCT, has been in this political trench with me for more than 20-something years. Some of you here might not know that our chairman was a former secretary of PDP in Abuja Municipal Area Council. And that was the year I contested election as a councillor. He was a secretary then to the party in the Amak level. I remember what he told me the day I was speaking before. He said when I was a secretary, you succeeded. This time I'm a chairman, you will succeed. And that is it. That is the
also recognize the members of the state executive and the local government executives here and other party elders and faithfuls. I welcome all of you to this town hall meeting. I know that the topic that I was assigned to speak on is on chapter creation. Let me say this. During the election, I noticed that, yes, as Labour Party, we have supporters from here and there. Even some members of other political parties are supposed to oppose us were supporting us.
Yes.
Some in PDP, some in APC, and I know that we have the numbers to win the election. But at the same time, I know that we are lacking something. Because I tell you, a large army without a good commander can lose a battle with a smaller army with a good commander.
All right.
And with that, I thought about how do we protect our votes against the enemies of democracy. How do we do this? It takes us to have a good formation, to be able to dismantle whatever that will come against us. And that was where the idea of charter creation came from. Because I know that is one thing for you to cast your vote, but it's another thing for you to protect that vote that you have casted. And we started. Even though that it was done in a hurry by that time. But I can tell you that 70% of the success that we achieved in this election was through that chapter creation. And I want to tell us today that that which we have started, that we must build on it. If with this kind of solution that we're able to achieve, I tell all my colleagues in the house, yes, we recognize ranking. And the word ranking means those who have been there before you. But I told them that there's another kind of ranking that we should also recognize. And that is ranking by vote. Because I am the most voted House member in the history of Nigeria. 201,000 votes. If you go to the National Assembly, you can find some House members that were elected with 6,000 votes. So I tell them that when we speak, let them know that we have people that we are representing. And these men are in their thousands. So they cannot say that members are equal to each other. We have those who represent more people. They might not have more political office. I might not be the chairman of works. I might not be the chairman of finance. But I am happy to be the honorable member representing my federal constituency. We are the people who believe in the power of the people, stood their ground, voted, and their vote was counted. That is you, our federal constituency. Please, I am here to talk about the powers of charter creation. Very soon there will be local government election. In this local government election is quite different from the national election that we just had. For some of us, we might be thinking that this election will be the same. It is not. We have been around also. I've been elected here as a councillor more than 20-something years ago. I have been part and parcel of several elections in Abuja. I tell all of us here today, if we want to be successful in the upcoming local government election, you as party leaders, you as aspirants, go back to your wards. Start to support anything that has to do with chapter formation in your different wards. The last election, the man that is in Ama today as a local government chairman got 19,000 votes. 19,000 votes. Barimba as a ward produced more than that in this last election. Kabusa produced more than that in the last election. Rooster produced more than that in the last election. But let me tell you, we have to do it as a short vote for this party. And we have laid down criteria on how this chapter formation can be done. We said 100 and above. We don't want 2, 3 people or 10 people to gather and say they have opened a chapter. We want 100. If we can be able to have up to 300 of 100 and above as chapters in our mark, that means what we have is 30,000 short votes. 30,000 short votes. We must work on this. We must plan on this. There shouldn't be any reason the chairman to be in Abuja Municipal Area Council will not defeat his rivals with anything less than 50,000 votes. Because we have what it takes to get that done. But having said that, I want to make a promise. You know that it was just by last December that our budget was passed. Budget implementation have not even started. I can tell you that me and Rachel as seated here, this is our first budget. So I want people to know that the good things are coming our way. For those of us who have worked for this party, even though that I keep saying that we cannot be able to solve every individual problem, it is practically impossible. If anybody is expecting that from us, it is practically impossible. Even Tinubu as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria cannot solve the problems of his own kinsmen that are in his family, not the rest of us. But I can tell you that there will be a lot of empowerment, there will be a lot of interventions in our schools. Speaking to the powers that be, yes, we can see some improvement in the city, but we want that improvement to go down to our rural communities, where our people stay, the people of Abuja Municipal Area Council. The number of those who stay in the city is just few to compare to those who are in our rural communities. We want our rural communities to be opened up. And me and Raja will continue to push for that. We will continue to make sure that the right thing is done for the people of FCT, so that your efforts will not go in vain. So as you go back today, please take chapter formation very seriously. Without chapters, we cannot win any election. Every national officer, be it state officer, be it local government or what, belongs to a chapter, and take your chapter seriously. I welcome all of you, and may God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Please hold up your hands of applause.
I've said it all. There's nothing more for me to say. So I've said it. Together as I'm saying it.
No, the topics are different.
I want you to leave the applause. Welcome, man.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wish to stand on all well-established protocols. Our chairman, whom we all know, worked very, very hard for this party. I think he went outside briefly. I want us all to give him a big round of applause. We all know that regardless of what is said or what is not said, FCT belongs to Labour Party. FCT is the party to beat in Labour Party is the party to beat in FCT. Not be so. Now we get control of this town. I want all Obidients, no matter what is happening, to never ever forget that the Obidients own FCT. Obidients own FCT. Yes, sir. As Tinubu said, we did not just go to the National Assembly. We were the people with the most votes in the National Assembly. As he said, we went to 2001. After the review, they declared me 215,000 votes. So no effort to unseat us was possible. For Inedo, for Koto, everywhere, Labour Party is firmly entrenched in this place. Before I go to my topic, I want all Obidients to know that we can build on that. We can own all the local governments if we continue to build on what we already have. So I want to first of all, if I make my speech, thank all Obidients because it was your blood, sweat, and tears that got us here. Thank you. Kudos to all of you. Now, talking about women, we all know that women, they are the backbone of any country. Elections, women are the bulk of the voters because they are the ones who suffer the most when there's no water, no hospital, no schools. They are the ones. Now, more women in governance. Labour Party must lead the way by showing that we are not only talk, we are talk and do. So, Labour Party will bring out the highest number of female councillors that have ever been in this because women are kind, women are compassionate, and women have their ways of talking to people to give you things. Woman understand. Woman understand. It has been shown that countries where you have more women in governance also are better developed politically and economically. Shall I tell you why? There are many, many things since I became a senator. And I would also like to apologize to the Obidients now that I have you all in one place. You may not see me as much as I know and you know that I should be in public functions, but there are only 4 women in the Senate. Senate. So everything they ask for, they say, one of the four, you go, you go, you go, because we are doing what 30% of the women of the senators should be doing, which should be women. Only because I declined, there is a meeting in the European Union on women issues that they told me to go. I said no, I've already committed to coming here today. Let's find another person to go. That's number one. Number two, I should will tell you, we are opposition. We are also Labour Party, the party that is feared. So everything we get, we have to fight for it, lobby for it, however. So a lot of the things that I am bringing to FCT, I have to spend time, go and talk to somebody to say, give FCT this, give FCT that. I just finished talking on agriculture. ITF, I had to go to Jos. So those things I feel should matter more to Labour Party to show that we have a party that is working. In the next week, I wrote to the chairman on power for power in Ibushere and Kao. He has written to IEA, and shortly you will see that those three places will have power in that place. We want to show that the votes we got were not empty votes. That at the end of 4 years, Chinedu and I can say, we did this, we did that, we did this, we did that. Who did it before? But what I want to tell you is that women are kinder. Women are not compassionate. Chinedu may not tell you, but Chinedu is also a kind man. But now, before I became a senator, if I see one dress, I want to buy it, I can afford to buy it. Now, since I became a senator, I cannot afford to buy it. Why? Because everything we make has to go back to the people. And that is because women feel the pain. Women feel about schools, hospitals, empowerment for women. Women know it. Gender-based violence, people who beat their wives. I'm sorry, I think it pays me more than the pension lady. Did you hear me? I said gender-based violence. Yes. When I hear some person beat his wife, say they pay me pass as he pay you.
The women they beat their husband.
Show me that woman, make I clap for her. So, Labour Party, especially chairman, my very esteemed ward chairman. I want to tell you today that it should be our pride for you all to show how many women councillors can bring us in America. Then leave us to campaign for them. Are you hearing me? Because you may think it's not important, but those are the people who will give you their last cover, who will go and look for something for you. Vote and look for women. Labour Party must show that we are different from other parties, because we are different from other parties. So I thank you all for coming here today. I'm honored and proud to be called an Obidients, to be part of you people, because we are the best of what Nigeria should be. We are the future of Nigeria. We are what other parties should aspire to be. So, Labour Party, Labour Party, Mama, Papa, Pikin.
Please say one of your words about let's sing this in our family and the husband. Thank you.
Thank you once again, our mommy, the distinguished Queen of the Senate, for your speech. And we will make sure we try to encourage women's participation as much as we can. Please, before I go ahead, just some few information. First of all, that this place is filled up today is by
the Obidients movement, having the Labour Party differences. You have inaugurated some of the Obidients group today. How does it translate to the effectiveness of Labour Party winning FCT in the next election?
Well, I can tell you that Labour Party is Obidients movement and Obidients movement is Labour Party. Two of them are inseparable. You cannot separate Labour from Obidients movement, neither can you separate Obidients movement from Labour. And let me say this, Labour Party has grown as a party. And when there is growth, you expect some kind of, when people are involved in something that is growing up, there will be struggle for leadership. There will be struggle for a lot of things. If today what has happened to us is not happening, I will tell you that there is no sign of growth among us. But because that people now believe that Labour is a party that can deliver, that people can even emerge through that platform, what do you expect? The agitation to be part of the system will be there. But I can tell you that Labour is one under the able leadership of Barrister Julius Abure. Labour is not divided. We know that some people might be disenchanted because of one thing or the other. It is normal. Even in our personal families, we have disagreement, but that does not mean that the family will disintegrate. We will not allow that. And all you see the national officers under Abure doing now is that peace. Everybody is interested in making peace because peace is what will continually propel Labour going forward. So,
are you also aware of the APC and the PDP coalition to wrestle power from the Labour Party in the area council election?
Kerosene and water can never mix together. What you just said now is practically impossible. By PDP and the Labour merging together, I can tell, and PDP and APC merging together, the possibility of them coming to Labour to merge with us is what is there. In other way around, you cannot find it. And I tell you, Nigeria knows where they stand. This is 1 year into this administration. Everyone now can tell if, they said the renewed hope. Whether that hope that Buhari left behind is being renewed or what? Because that is what that mandate stands for. He said, renewed hope. We are in hopeless situation, so they want us to renew that hopeless situation, but Nigerians will decide when the time comes.
So how has the nation fared since 1999?
Well, let me bring it down to FCT. To use my own federal constituency as a case study. FCT residents have not fared better since 1999, if you ask me. Most of the hospitals that we have were built by the military. We are not seeing new ones springing up. Democracy should done better than that of what the military can do for us. But if the men in military uniform can put so much hospital that we, that are the civilian administration, cannot maintain, it's a shame on democracy. And it's the only Labour administration that can change this.
So what is the significance of June 12?
Well, that is a day that was identified to be a day that the Nigerian Democrats struggled for the freedom of this country. For freedom, for political participation, for freedom of speech. And it was led by MKO Abiola, those ones that laid down their lives for the sake of this country. So it's a significant day in the history of this nation. You can't talk about democracy without talking of Abiola and June 12th. And that particular people were those that made this democracy that we are practicing today possible. If not for their sacrifice, maybe somebody like me will not be here as member of House of Representatives. So they sacrificed a lot. It's a day that is very significant to us as Nigerians.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, your name and your constituency, the constituency you are
My
representing.
name is Joshua Chinekubika. I'm the member representing
Can you tell us why you abandoned the party and the Obidient movement after the 2023 election?
What?
Can you tell us why you abandoned the Labour Party and the Obidient movement?
Okay, I will speak to you. If I abandon the Labour Party movement, I will not find jobs for FCT people. I will not give empowerment more than even the senator from before has ever given. I will not bring training. I thought I was making Labour Party proud, but obviously you don't think so.
Yes, now we are talking about empowerment in the FCT generally.
Yes.
And Labour Party has shown that integrity in carrying its people along.
Exactly.
What is the way forward for FCT people?
Well, FCT people, we need all to. Labour Party, we are going to go to 2026 elections, local government. We will get local government chairmen. We will get local government Labour Party councillors. And then you will now see a new, rejuvenated and reborn FCT.
All right, ma. Sorry, ma. Please, just ask another question. Some of the since after the election, from some of the local as in grassroots, most of the chapter chairman and escorts, they said they have not seen your face as in apart from Honorable Chinedu Obika have been coming to say one or two words to them that they have not seen Senator Iroti coming to say one word to them. Please, what do you have
Let
to say?
me tell you, Senator Obika, Honorable Obika has 22 wards.
All right, ma.
Distinguished Ireti has 62 wards. And I will show you my phone. Any one of you who's willing to volunteer, I will give you my phone for 2 hours and see how you feel. Everybody, the 4 million people in the FCT are all my constituents. Do you think it's possible for me to see everybody? Is it every event in this town? Senator Ireti is invited to. Every wedding, every naming ceremony. The best I can do is, like now when I leave here, I'm going to go to 3, 4, 5 places. I'm only one person. One old woman, not even. Do you know? You can.
I asked the question intentionally because I know you're doing well in your office.
Excuse me. Okay, when I gave empowerment, did I not send to the party? When I distributed rice, did the party not get? Those are the things that matter. How does it pay you for me to come and be smiling at you every day? And I cannot give you food, I cannot give you money, I cannot give you training, I cannot give you anything. Is that what you would prefer? If you would prefer, we can look into that too. And I will leave all those other things and come and be hanging out with you.
Okay, madam. I want to. The people of SCT are appreciating you, especially in the area of providing jam for students, those who could not afford it in the FCT. And some pocket of schools, hospitals, which you went into the interior of the FCT commission. Rainy season is coming, insecurity here and there, and the issue of farming is key. What are your plans for the people of the FCT?
I will tell you, I am working. See, we are legislators. FCT has a chief security officer. We can only appeal to him to look into the matters of insecurity. The things that we can do, we are doing. Since I became a senator, which is just slightly under 1 year, I have taken solar lights to 5 communities, about 23 solar lights to each of them. I have built a road in Karusite. I have started and will be completing a hospital in Dobi. I have empowered at least 6,000 people. I have given 2,000 young people jam paid for with my personal money. I am in the process of ITF training for 16,000 FCT residents, as well as employment for 6,000 people, majorly, as well as 50 here, 10 here, 30 here, 40 here, 22 here. So I think that if we're to look at it, Labour Party under the leadership of Senator Ireti Kingibe and Chinedu Obika, we have done well for under 1 year. And you must remember that we are new legislators, we are learning the ropes, we are still trying to find our way, and yet we could do so much. So I thought that Labour Party would be proud of us to say, see, when Chinedu and I decided to run, we took a partnership. That the things I can do, I will do. What I cannot do, he will do. I am the bigger one. The ministers are more likely to give me those things for me to bring to our constituents. He is the politician. You saw the difference. So we have divided our jobs. And I think that together we are doing well.
Okay, agriculture.
So what plans did you have for the farmers? Will they smile during this rainy season?
I was just talking to Honorable Chinedu that I've been talking to the Minister of Agri, and I'm hoping that when he returns, I'll go and sit with him and see. At least I know that I'll also be bringing fertilizers to you and a few other things, farm inputs, and I'm working on it the same way I worked on all those other things. They don't just come and give things to us and say, here, take to your constituents, you know. We have to find a way of getting them to give it to us for our constituents. And you have to remember, we are Labour Party, so we need the support of the residents to support us in empowering them and getting the best for them in the city.
My last question, ma.
Yes. Women have not done well at all in democracy. So, am I lying? Women have not done well. So